Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. The video that I'm showing you guys tonight is going to be some information that I think a lot of people need to hear. Okay? It's going to be a couple of clips. Okay? The video is going to be kind of long, so if anybody knows how I do my content, I always ask to bear with me, but there's always a reason why I make my videos like this, because I tie everything together so people can get a better grasp of what's going on. But the video that I'm putting together tonight it's going to be two things that I want to show. Number one, we're going to find out, okay, if Kamala Harris, number one, is fit to be president. And I'm pretty sure that once anybody watches this content that I'm going to put together, if nobody can go out there and do their research, especially people on the left, it's because you really don't care, okay, how much of a snake this woman is, okay. The other thing that I'm going to show, okay, which will go along with this, is Joe Biden and how Kamala, Joe, and the Democrats love to put on optics. They love to pander to people. They love to use tragedies, okay, to their benefit. And yet the left like to tell the mainstream media and their constituents that they're on the up and up, and everybody else, either on the left or that don't agree with them, are the ones lying. Basically, that everybody else is putting out disinformation, misinformation, but they're putting out the truth. Okay? And the videos that I'm going to show, it's like I don't understand how or why the Democrats say and do things and then don't have the foresight, I should say, if I'm using the word correctly or the term correctly, to know that when it's a lie, it's going to come back and bite them. Okay? Now, it's either that they're that stupid or they just don't care. Okay? Me personally, I think it's both. Okay? Especially when they do things around people that truly care, that have credentials, and when they open their mouths to speak, more people are going to listen. Okay? But to the Democrats in power, to Kamala Harris, to Joe Biden, their thing is how many people can they use to brainwash other people so they can stay in power. That's basically how, the way I see it, that's basically how they operate. Okay? It's not about what's real and what's fake. It's about how many people can we convince to help us stay in power. Knowing very well that at the end of the day, everything that they're doing is wrong, it's corrupt, and it's lies. Okay? So that's going to be the first part. The final part of the video that I really need everybody to pay attention to and watch it, please, straight through, will be something pertaining to the video that I put out last, which was 2 nights ago. Okay? And it has to do with children. And once again, I've noticed that even though the video was pushed out somewhat, it didn't get that much. It didn't get that many views, and I'm very surprised, and it's very disheartening when you're trying to spread awareness about the danger that children are in. And I know there's a lot going on. I just hate to think that, and not my subscribers, not you guys, okay? I just hate to think that there's a lot more people out there that are looking more for the drama stories, the gossip stories, than the real things that are going on, especially when it comes to children and their safety and their lives. Okay? So I truly need everyone that watches this video to watch it straight to the end so you guys can see. And this is not clickbait. This is not trying for me to get you to watch the video straight through. You want to go and skip the video to the end? Go right ahead. Work your way back. Play it in the middle. Whatever you feel that is right for you to watch. But if you really want to know things, watch it from beginning to end. I'll try to keep it short. I always make that promise. It just ends up being a little longer than what I expect. And it is what it is. I really don't care. I'm here to spread awareness. I'm not here to coddle somebody's 15-minute intervals of how they use their brain. Okay? Because if you want to really learn something, you got to put the time into it in order to research and say, you know what? Okay, I need to listen to this. It's just like if you get a job. If you're getting a job and you don't have the skills and they say, we'll hire you, but you're going to get on the job training. You're going to be there 8 hours a day, 5 days a week without complaining. At least I hope you wouldn't complain, because you need to learn. Okay? So take whatever I'm saying, the way you will. Like I said, this is not directed to my subscribers because I know they watch my content. But these are to the new people, and especially to the lefties out there, that you keep listening to the mainstream media and all these other content creators that all they like to do is take bits and pieces, okay, and edit it, put it together to make it something that it's not. Okay, so with all that being said, I want everybody to pay close attention to the next two videos that I'm going to play. This one's only 3 minutes and 42 seconds, but I'm starting it at around the 1 minute mark, okay? Pay attention to both of them. The first one's going to be about Kamala. The second one's going to be about Joe. And then we'll take it from there. Here we go.
Listen to the orders you're getting from your local officials. They know what they're telling you, and they know what Milton is about to be. So please do that. The other point I'd make is that there's a lot of mis and disinformation being pushed out there by the former president about what is available, in particular to the survivors of Helene. And first of all, it's extraordinarily irresponsible. It's about him. It's not about you. And the reality is that FEMA has so many resources.
Okay, and I'm going to stop it. And this is the way I'm going to play this video. You heard what she said. She said that the former president is out there putting out disinformation, misinformation. It's all about him. It's not about you. That the people from Hurricane Helene have the resources. Okay? Play it again if you want. I'm gonna stop it and remind everybody of basically all the trigger words and sentencing these people are using, because when I show you, okay, something after these two videos, you really need to sit down and figure this out if you truly think, okay, that Kamala Harris and that Joe Biden truly care about people and America. Okay, let's continue.
That are available to folks who desperately need them now, and resources that are about helping people get back on their feet and rebuild and have places to go. You are entitled to these resources. People are entitled to these resources, and it is critically important that people apply for the help that is there to support. That all of those resources were created for just these kinds of moments in an emergency situation, knowing that folks are entitled to have the relief that they so rightly need at this moment in time. So listen to your sheriffs around the places that have been impacted by Helene. Listen to your local sheriff, who's going to tell you straight about what's available to you and how, for so many reasons and ways, there are no conditions attached to the relief that's available to you.
President, Governor DeSantis, NBC is reporting Governor DeSantis is ignoring your calls on hurricanes, resources, and help. How does that hurt the situation here?
You know, moments of crisis, if nothing else, should really be the moment that anyone who calls themselves a leader says they're going to put politics aside and put the people first. People are in desperate need of support right now, and playing political games with this moment to put the people first.
Madam Vice President,
Okay, so you heard what she said when they answered the question. First of all, you heard everything she said about Donald Trump and the disinformation, misinformation, that FEMA is there, that the people have resources that's entitled to them. Listen to your sheriffs. Basically, listen to authority. They asked her about why DeSantis didn't pick up her phone calls. She's saying that it's political gamesmanship. Yada yada yada. Like I said, go back, listen to it word for word. Keep all that in your head. Listen to it word for word. Okay? Now, we're going to get to the next video. Here we go. Okay. Now, I'm sure that a lot of people have seen or heard about this video when Joe Biden was asked about the storm zone, they called it. Okay, meaning where Hurricane Helene hit. And most of the most devastating parts was up in North Carolina. Okay, if you haven't, okay, heard, here's the video clip I'm going to show you. I hope that you guys still remember, okay, what I showed you about Kamala. If you need to go back, because I advise you, the video that I'm going to play after this, you might want to go back and listen to it again. Like I said, it's only about 2 minutes, word for word, and then listen to Joe word for word, and then go back to the video I'm going to play after this. Listen to what Joe Biden says. Check this out.
What does the states of the storm zone need, Mr. President?
Okay.
What are the states of the storm zone? What do they need after what you saw today?
Oh, in the storm zone.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about. They're getting everything they need. They're very happy across the board.
Okay, you heard what he said. They asked him about the storm zone. And he was like, what? And they said the storm zone. What do you think they need? He says they're getting everything they need. And they're very happy. Okay? Now, so many times, okay, the Democrats, they say and do things live. Okay, it's recorded. They'll either say it live or it's recorded and then it's shown. And then when you come to find out information later on, you're like, well, wait a minute. They basically just totally contradicted themselves. Not only did they contradict themselves, they flat out just lied. They lied the first time, and they came back and lied again, and then they used another lie to try to cover up those two lies. In other words, they just keep lying. And then they go and they pay people off, because I don't know if anybody's been noticing, I'm sure a lot of you are not on TikTok, but there are a lot of TikTok influencers coming out, and they're basically, it's like a campaign that they're having of how the Democrat Party has been reaching out to people on TikTok, on YouTube, on other platforms, and a lot of them are young, but they have big followings on their channels, paying them to basically be a spokesperson for the Democrat Party. So a lot of them are coming out basically blowing the whistle and laughing at the Democrats like, you can't buy me, you can't pay me off. Okay? But then you leave it up to other content creators on different platforms, and they get paid, and they basically do more lying for the Democrat Party and certain people in power in the Democrat Party. Case in point, they've done it for Barack Obama, they've done it for Joe, now they're doing it for Kamala Harris, saying that she's a breath of fresh air, that she's the best thing that this country could have, that everything looks so hopeful knowing that Kamala is running for the presidency. Okay? But you know what goes unnoticed? The ones that actually do something true, do something good, but sometimes, just sometimes, they're at the right place at the right time. Okay? And they have the proof that someone like Kamala or Joe lied. they have the proof to show the American people that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden don't care about Americans, and they sure as shit don't care about the people suffering, okay, in North Carolina or elsewhere. And I know you're probably all wondering, what are you talking about? Like I said, you heard what Kamala had to say, you heard what Joe had to say, okay? Now we're going to get to the video that's going to show the truth. And for all you lefties out there, because I didn't edit this, I let it play. You heard it word for word. You even heard the reporter here asking Joe a question and the way Joe answered. Okay? Prepare now to see what the truth is. Here we go. Okay. Now this video that I'm going to show you, okay, was put out by Sean Ryan. If nobody knows who he is or what his channel is on YouTube, I'm going to leave a link in the description. Sean Ryan pretty much interviews almost anybody and everybody that has any kind of information, any kind of intel that pertains to the corruption either in our country, in our government, or around the world. Okay? The people that he brings on, okay, are 100% legit. Okay? He doesn't put out clickbait. He doesn't put out anything like that. Now, I'm just going to start this right now real quick, just so I can show something, okay? Now, if anybody knows this man, and for sake of time, I didn't want to cut it off just to play another video so you guys can see who he is. But this man right here was doing search and rescue up in North Carolina. He is actually the man, if you look at the news, that saved an 11-day-old baby. Rescued a baby that was 11 days old, newborn. And then after he rescued that baby, he got back in his chopper and rescued an elderly woman. Now, I'm only going to play a certain segment. If you look down here at the ticker, the video is 1 hour 19 minutes. I'm gonna leave a link in the description because you need to watch this from beginning to end so you guys can get a better idea of what's going on in North Carolina. But this segment that I'm gonna play right here, okay? And I want every lefty out there to listen, okay? You've seen the video I played what Kamala had to say, and you heard what the reporter asked Joe Biden and what he had to say. Now listen to the truth. Pay attention. Here we go.
Also from that video, I started getting a lot of messages like to my Instagram from like actual like aircraft commanders, like squadron commanders.
No kidding.
I had a squadron commander from North Carolina reach out to me. They had to load a C-17 full of supplies just to take a photo op for Kamala, and they never sent the bird.
Wait a minute, what?
They loaded an entire C-17 full of supplies for the hurricane victims just for Kamala to go there, take a photo, take a video, and they never sent the C-17. It was
Are
just
you
a full,
serious?
Yeah, that was a National Guard, North Carolina National Guard unit. That was a 06 that reached out to me. And then I had another.
He reached out to you to tell you that they did a photo op and with the intention of never sending.
Never sent it. It was just a photo op.
Okay, I'm gonna end it at that. So, you heard Kamala Harris say that Trump is spreading disinformation, misinformation. You heard her put down Ron DeSantis saying that the reason why he didn't pick up her phone call is because he's politicizing everything or whatever the case is, all right? Here's the thing. Ron DeSantis said that he didn't need to speak to Kamala Harris because, number one, she didn't care for the past few years, okay, about the other hurricanes that hit Florida. Why all of a sudden now? Good point. He also said that he's been in contact with Joe Biden and the White House, that Kamala trying to step in basically she's out of line because there's no reason for her to step in and do Joe's job, okay? And another thing, Ron DeSantis also said that under Trump and Biden, that he has worked well with both of them, especially during the hurricanes. Whatever disasters happened in Florida, he said that neither Trump nor Biden politicized them giving him help. Whereas the mainstream media and certain content creators out there, I'm not going to shout you out by name, have been changing the narrative, okay, making it seem as if Joe Biden, okay, has been doing way better than Trump when it comes to natural disasters, especially in Florida. DeSantis already said, no, that's not the case. Kamala saying that Ron DeSantis is trying to politicize it. Meanwhile, you just heard it from the man who truthfully rescued people, rescued a baby, that much is true, saying that Kamala Harris had everyone load up a plane full of supplies just to do a photo shoot, and that plane never left the tarmac, never got out to the people. Number two, Joe Biden had them shut off all the airspace, knowing that these guys, among many other rescuers, needed a certain window in order to fly around and find people. But Joe had to have it his way, shut down the airspace, okay, only fly around, never got off on the ground, leave, okay, which made them waste time, 3.5 hours, he said, where they couldn't rescue. But then gets on TV, and when he's asked the question, he says everything's fine, they're getting what they need, they're happy. I said it once, I'll say it again, and I'll always say it until I see different. The Democrats don't care about anybody. They eat themselves, they eat each other, they contradict themselves, they lie, and it's always caught on video or on audio. Meanwhile, everybody and their mother praises them. Okay? And I don't mean people on the right, I'm just saying people on their side. But yet, with all the proof, you still won't believe it. With all the proof of their lying, of their grandstanding, you won't believe it. Okay? You keep saying, you know what, no, Kamala's doing great. Everybody's attacking her because her numbers are up and this and that, and Trump's going to lose, and he's a threat, he's an existential threat to the democracy in this country. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris, instead of doing a photo op, had every opportunity to go and work with the people during this. No, she decided, and it's not something that I played here, but there's another video circulating that I'm sure everybody's seen, where she's in the middle of two women that are putting packages of supplies together, and all she's doing is listening and not even yesing them. She's to them. And the women are trying to explain to her how the people that they're helping, how grateful they are. What was that? That was optics. That was a photo op. The same way, when she was speaking to one of the National Guardsmen or something like that, and when the mainstream media put out the video, if you don't believe me, it's out there. And I know what everybody's saying. I'm going to finish what I got to say, but the reason why I say things like this is not to persuade you to go look at one video. Anybody could do that. If I point you in the right video, I'll make you believe whatever the hell you want. But that's not what I'm all about. The reason why I tell you with things, I give you like Easter eggs So you guys can go hunt for it, and when you start tracking all the videos and start seeing that, wow, this is making more sense from just one thing that he said, you'll see. The video in question that I'm talking about, okay, was that supposedly, and not supposedly, well, supposedly she was supposed to be talking to the head of, I believe it was one of the National Guard or something like that. I don't exactly remember what military rank. But whoever put the video out did such a piss poor job of editing it that they started recording while she was standing there next to the guy, and as if somebody came out and said rolling, and then while they're both staring at the camera, both started walking and talking and whispering as if they're having a conversation. Okay, oh, I remember now. It was, if I remember correctly, it was at the border, where they only had one photographer. They kept all the news media back, all the photographers back, and they showed one photographer on his knees, I believe he was dressed in black, taking the money shots of both of them talking. Optics, people. But anybody sees that supports her, no, you got it all wrong. Okay, whatever makes you sleep at night. But now you got a man here, a bona fide hero, okay, that was there days before the video was put out by the mainstream media, and seen exactly what happened with Kamala, what happened with Biden, but yet the mainstream media paints a different story. So who are you going to believe, people? Are you going to believe a guy that the media has been putting on a pedestal, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but have been raising him up because he went and rescued people, a baby, an elderly woman, and other people? Or are you going to believe a woman, okay, who is saying that everybody else, like Donald Trump, is spreading disinformation, misinformation. Ron DeSantis is politicizing all this carnage. Biden, who basically doesn't even know what time it is anymore, after flying around a state that is destroyed, to be asked a question like the storm zone, and he's like, what storm zone? It's like, what are the storm zones did you just come from? I don't see how you lefties could look at this woman, okay, and think that she is the best thing for this country. But you have one guy from TMZ who basically records Trump talking about grabbing a woman, okay, in a video, and you don't even see Trump's face. Now, I'm not saying he didn't say it. I'm not trying to back him up for what he said. But you take that, and to this day, you don't even give the man a chance, or you don't even give yourself a chance to come out and say, well, you know what, that was then, many years ago, this is now, he's changed. No, he is the same man in your eyes. But yet you have Joe Biden and Kamala Harris on video lying, people there with credentials to come out and point out the lie, and you don't care. You just don't care. And if that wasn't enough, okay, and remember, like I said, I'm going to leave a link in the description so you guys can watch this whole video that Sean Ryan put out with these two men. Okay, and I know some of you are going to come out because you, especially I've been noticing a lot of so-called leftist veterans that are, I mean, in my opinion, I think you're all a bunch of liars. I don't think you're veterans. I think you probably all got kicked out of the military. But you think that you are the patriotic ones, and I know you're going to wind up calling these guys traitors. I know it. I already know it. Okay? But that's fine. That's all besides the point. I'm going to digress on that. Okay? But if all that's not enough, the mainstream media is saying that Kamala is basically beating Trump in every poll all around the country, from here to freaking Mars. Okay? Lying to everyone. But then, if somebody says that's not true, the polls don't say that. Oh, no, you got it all wrong. No, that's what the polls are saying. Okay. So we're going to get off of this topic, and we're going to see exactly what the polls are saying. Here we go. If the polls are saying that Kamala Harris is winning, and I'm sure you people probably heard about this story by now, because it's definitely all over the mainstream media, that even people on the mainstream media are basically taking offense to it also, which I'm very surprised. But it doesn't surprise me coming from the person that's doing the talking, which is Barack Hussein Obama, who is in a room full of young American black men, basically scolding them. Because more and more American black men are saying that they're not going to vote for Kamala, they're voting for Trump. So now you got the panderer in chief, okay, the man that started it all back in 2008, dividing the country, passing transgenderism rights, pushing Christianity out of the way, okay, destroying America, over here basically, in my opinion, I always said that Obama was just a pimp anyway, okay, and I stand by that. But listen to what he has to say.
Is that we had not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers.
Good. It's funny how he says it seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. Oh, you're a brother now? Really? You're one of the brothers now? If you were such a brother, what happened in Chicago? You know? You let the brothers down in Chicago while you was president. You did nothing to clean up Chicago, make life better for them. Neither did you in New York. I know, I was there. I seen a lot of my brothers lose work, go broke, lose their apartments, lose their houses, lose their jobs. But now you're going to go and try to scold these young men? But why? I thought Kamala was doing great in the polls. I thought Kamala had it under wraps. I thought Kamala, you know, listening to some content creator saying that she's a breath of fresh air, that she is the new hope for America. That should make her be fine. Why are you out there scolding young voters, standing there like a damn pimp, as if you have a say-so? You're insignificant. You always were. As a matter of fact, you're illegitimate. If people really want to do their research, I know I have, I know what I saw. And no, this is not some conspiracy. Somebody's got the tape. Okay? It's just a matter of time before they put it out. But I'm going to digress on that if anybody's understanding where I'm coming from. Okay? But then you're going to go and you're going to pander to these guys, try to make them feel guilty, as if you didn't make them feel guilty enough, that you promised them so many things, and you probably, I mean, you did not do anything to lift up the black community other than in one way, and not all of them, but what you did, you raised up their expectations, okay? And it became what? Promises made, none of them kept. You raised up racial tension, that you did. You raised up the racial divide, that you did. And now you're going to come to these young guys, and this is what I don't think anybody caught from this video. Okay? A lot of these guys look like they're in their 20s. So we're talking that when Barack was president, that was nearly 16 years ago, which would have made a lot of those guys in the video, what, 4, 5 maybe? They didn't know anything about what you did. They probably barely remember anything about Trump, because obviously they were probably all living at home and their parents were dealing with whatever. But you're going to come to them now and say, this is what, how I feel that you're not supporting Kamala? What did you do for them? Okay? Where you expect them to stand there and say, okay, boss, you got it. See, if you were talking to a bunch of older men in their 30s and 40s, then I can say you probably have an argument to stand there and talk to these men like that, because you probably, since they're older, they would remember things. But you're talking to a bunch of young men that probably can't even remember, and not that they probably can't, they definitely do not remember anything you did when they were kids. There is no way, unless their parents pounded something into their little malleable minds. Okay? But you want to go and do something like this for a woman who told all of America that Trump is passing disinformation, DeSantis is politicizing the hurricanes, and yet all she did was go and make people waste time, fill up a plane with supplies, do a photo op. The plane didn't even go anywhere to help anybody, and then she left. Oh, I'm sorry, and then she promised everybody $750. While she signed paperwork to send, what was it, Lebanon, $170 million. Can't make this up, people. Just can't make it up. But that's where we're at. So my question is this before I get to the final part of the video, and it's going to pertain to the video I put out 2 days ago. Okay? How can anybody think that this woman should be president if they judged Trump on a video that came out over 20 years ago by TMZ, which is a gossip columnist, news media outlet, whatever you want to call it? Okay? I'm not, like I said, I'm not supporting Trump for what he said. I'm not saying that it was edited. What I'm saying is, you people ran on that and said that he should be disqualified. Hush. Sorry. But yet, look at the proof that's coming out with her. This is just a little bit. Shh. And yet, you still think she's good to be president. I don't know. I just don't know. But before I get to the last part of the video, okay, if you're still with me, and I hope you are, especially if you're new, I just want to thank all my new subscribers and all my subscribers here on YouTube and on Rumble. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. Also, I'm leaving a link to Loza Alexander's Gifts and Go campaign if you guys can help him out. And I'll be leaving a link to the Sean Ryan video that I just showed you, so you guys can watch it from beginning to end, okay, and listen to the testimony of the real heroes and rescuers that there were and probably still are in North Carolina trying to help out. Okay, so with all that being said, we're going to get to the last part of the video, and like I said, I hope you're still with me. It's very important. Here we go. Okay, this video that I'm going to show you was put up by Jake GTV. Okay, Go check out his channel, show him some love. The reason why I'm putting this video in, and I want to ask everyone to please go back to the last video I put out 2 days ago. I'll leave at my end screen. I'm going to leave it so you guys can click on it and watch it. Okay, and it was about some school teachers that gave some children adult strength melatonin. This right here is something that everyone's trying to hide, especially the mainstream media. This man went out and did his own investigating and recorded the smuggling of migrant children. Okay? And what gets me about the video is that the people that are involved actually are attacking this man for exposing them. So once again, we got somebody with proof that there's something amiss going on. Okay? You have people in the video that are trying to cover it up. It's all under Harris's watch and Biden's watch. And yet they say that everything's fine at the border. Meanwhile, there are kids who God only knows where they came from, where their parents are at, what's going to happen to them, and they don't care. They just don't care. Check this out.
Hey man, where is this going? Where is this driving to?
Just roll up the window, man.
Dude, I can blur your face.
Just
This is not looking good. Just all I'm asking is where this is going to, because a lot of these kids go missing. Where is this going to? That's all I want to know.
Okay, so where you working for? Who you working for? Roll up the window.
I'm independent media. I'm independent media, and I've done a lot of work on this. My videos have millions of views. This is gonna look really bad if you roll up the window. Where are you guys taking these kids? That's all we want to know. Where are the kids going?
Okay, what do they tell you? What they tell you?
They won't tell me anything. Look, he's telling me to roll up the window.
Okay.
He's telling me to roll up the window. Where are you taking these kids? It's gonna look really bad if you roll up that window, bro. Where are you taking the kids to?
Okay, so who do you work for?
I'm independent. I work for myself. I'm an independent news reporter. Where are you going, man? Who do you? Whoa.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry. No, I have to put
Where
the
you
window
going?
up.
Where are you taking these kids to?
Sorry, buddy.
Oh my God.
So that's the first part. You got a grown man driving. You got another grown man with some adults stuffing kids into a van. He's trying to ask questions. Where are you guys going? Nobody wants to talk. Let's go.
Hey, where are you guys flying to today? Where are you guys driving to?
Why?
Well, a lot of these kids, a third of these kids, according to the New York Times, go missing.
Oh, well, not these.
Not these?
They're with us.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I'm just curious. You guys going to a foster home?
No, sir. It doesn't matter where they're going.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you hear this woman? This woman needs to be investigated, people. The disgusting, condescending tone in her voice. Now, she may be a little standoffish because maybe, just maybe, okay, these are all her kids. Doubt it. Maybe she has a good reason why she needs to be surrounded by all these kids and he's asking a question. Okay, and she's embarrassed. Doubt it. Or maybe, just maybe, this has become such the norm since Biden became president that these people feel entitled and empowered by saying, we are running a child trafficking organization and we have the power to not answer questions. This wasn't happening under Trump's watch, because if it was, it'd be all over the mainstream media. And since the right doesn't control the mainstream media, and we all know that Donald Trump sure as shit doesn't have no say-so with the mainstream media, that can only mean one thing. Or two things. One, that if it was happening, it was happening on a small scale and it was in very secret. Or two, that it wasn't really happening the way it's happening now. Out in the open, and these people feeling empowered that they could put these children in danger. Let's continue.
We don't need to.
Well, how can we guarantee this kid's safety? Because you're not going to check up on them, right?
You don't know that.
Well, there's a 30-day wellness check that happens after you drop them off, right? And a third of those calls
But
go
again,
unanswered.
you don't know what we're doing, so thank you.
Do you work with MVM or Southwest Key?
See, she's saying you don't know what we're doing, but at the same time, instead of putting people's minds to rest and say, no, this is not the kind of organization you think we are. We are this, 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 and this. No. She knows she's lying. She's trying to avoid it all. She's basically turning her head, which means what? She's a liar. She knows that what they're doing is that they're trafficking kids.
Hola. Whoa, do you tell these kids not to talk?
Yeah,
You tell
you
these kids
didn't
not to talk?
ask my permission to be on.
See, then she gets upset and slaps the camera. Then she says, you don't have the permission to record me. But meanwhile, everybody turns around.
Well, this is a one-party. It's a one-party consent state in New York. This is a public place. Unfortunately, I'll give you some space. That's fine. Hold on. ¿Cómo estás, amigos? Yo soy un amigo. No problema. No problema. ¿Qué país tú? Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador. ¿Qué país? What? No problema. Es América. Es América. No problema aquí. Amigos, ¿qué pasa? You okay? Hey, what company do you work for? Can I know that? Huh? What company do you work for? That's all I want to know. I mean, it's a public concern with these kids. You know, a lot of men are going missing. It's in the Department of Homeland Security documents, and some of them get delivered into the hands of sex traffickers. I'm not saying that you're doing that, but I'm saying it does happen. This is known. I'm saying, are you MVM, Southwest Key? That's all we want to know.
See, I'm not answering questions, which means that they know they're up to no good. These people are demonic. I don't care what anybody says. If you need to hide it that much, if you cannot give anybody transparency in order to put people's minds to rest, knowing that what's going on is not exactly what people think, that what's going on is all legit, we have problems. Okay? If these people were on the up and up, they would have no problem explaining themselves to put everybody's mind to rest. But they won't. Because they're part of it. And to them, it's like an everyday thing. It's like somebody, and I hate using, I'm trying to be very careful with the analogies that I'm using, because just the thought alone of these kids disappearing and God only knowing what is happening to them, it just sickens me. But I mean, these people are acting like they're just transporting freaking frozen meat or cases of soda or whatever, that is just everyday business to them. It's just evil and wicked. But there's more. Here we go.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, no, can you not do that first?
Hey, don't touch me.
Get the fuck out of here.
Don't touch me, dude.
Can you go?
Don't touch me.
Can you go? You're asked to leave.
Don't touch me,
No,
dude.
you're not. Nobody's touching you.
All right,
bro.
all right,
Goodbye.
all right.
Goodbye.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Goodbye.
don't get in my face.
Goodbye.
Why are you getting in my face?
Goodbye.
Why are you getting in my
Goodbye,
face?
bro. Goodbye.
Why
bro.
are you getting in my
have nothing
face?
to do here. Goodbye, bro.
What's the name of this place?
None of your business. Goodbye. Have a blessed day, bro.
I'll have a blessed day. That's
Come here
fine.
looking for problems is not good.
I don't want any problems. The children's...
You know, for him to come out and get in his face like that, number one, this freaking dude, if you are part of this, how do you live with yourself? And then for him to come out and say, what did he say? This is where you know that it's nefarious. Okay? Listen to what he says.
Problems is not good.
I don't want any problems.
If you're coming here for problem, I'll play it again.
That's
Come
fine.
here looking for problems is not
If you're coming around here looking for problems, it's not good. What kind of a person talks like that if they're working at a legitimate place that helps children? In other words, let's just say this man was going to an orphanage. Would he be treated this way by somebody at the gate saying, if you're coming here looking for problems, it's not good? No. They'll be asking, you know, can we help you? I'm here to do a story where you need to, go to the director, this, and that, yada, yada, yada. But for somebody to use this kind of verbiage, and say if you're coming here looking for problems, it's not good, can only mean one thing. That the people in charge running this place are no good. Okay? Think about that. You know, when you're born and raised in the streets, and I'm sure everyday folks could think the same, when people use a certain tone and certain words in a certain way, you can tell a lot of what's going on, whether they're friend or foe. Let's put it that way. This dude right here knows that he's part of something that definitely is not good for those kids. But everybody has their price. Okay? Everybody has their price. And it's disgusting. It's pathetic, it's demonic, it's evil, and it's wicked. Now I pray to God that I'm all wrong with this. But with a lot of video that I've seen of a lot of these facilities, especially some of them operating out of Texas, which for the life of me I can't understand why, and I hate saying it like that, I'm so used to saying it, but when I say this, I'm not saying the government, because the government in power now ain't gonna do a damn thing. But there's certain people in charge. Why they don't rain down on these places, I mean in full force, and rescue these kids? What can I say? It's beyond me. I mean, for as much as I don't want to say that, what else can I say? This whole administration has been waiting to unleash this evilness on this country for a very long time. They knew that Donald Trump was a hiccup in their plan. And now they're going for broke. They are trying to do so much. They are trying to cover up so much. They are trying to dispose of all these kids. And I hate saying it like that, but it's the truth, because last year, when I was doing one of my first videos on Chip Roy speaking about this in Congress, he estimated 80,000. A year later, okay, that has ballooned to over 350,000. And yet, who's the president? Who's the vice president? Who was in charge of the border? That's right, Kamala Harris. So once again, I'm going to say before I end the video, okay? She doesn't care about the migrants. She doesn't care about migrant children. She doesn't care about Americans. She doesn't care about the black supporters, Latino supporters, whatever you want to say. She doesn't care about hurricane victims. Everything to her is optics, and that because she's a woman and because she's black. She cares about money, power, the transgender community, and socialism, communism, and destroying this country from within. And you people, you want me to believe that she is going to be the next best thing for this country. On top of that, her master, she basically ousted him. Her and the powers that be. Okay? Like I said, they eat themselves. They eat each other up, they eat themselves, they contradict themselves, they lie, and it goes on and on and on. And then on top of that, they come out and say that she is leading in all the states, but you have a pimp like Obama going out there and basically scolding young American black men for not wanting to vote for her. Sounds kind of like a strong arm tactic, if you ask me. Because I tell you what, okay, if it ever turned out that, let's say I was somewhere and Obama showed up and he wanted to talk to everybody and I just happened to be there and he thought that he could talk to me like that because I look Latino, I basically would have told him, go screw yourself. Right to his face, right on camera. But those guys that stood quiet, kudos to them. Because they acted more like real men than Obama did. Okay? Me, I just have a short fuse when it comes to certain things. That's why I said that I would have told him to go screw himself. But this is what they do, people. This is what they do. This is what's going on. And every day that passes, they try to push it away, but they keep forgetting that they are so embroiled in their own power trip that one day they'll say this and have it recorded, then the next day say something else, and it goes on and on and on. And there's rumor out there of another content creator putting out some proof, don't know how true it is, but I'm just gonna, throw it out there, that supposedly, and if it comes out to be true, I will be doing a reaction on it, that Tim Walsh supposedly didn't get the nickname Touchdown Tim or something to that effect because he was a football coach. Now, I'll leave it at that because some stuff came out yesterday. Don't know how true it is. We'll see. But if it is true, just let's put it this way. If it is true, you need to ask, why is it that they're willing to call Trump a convicted felon with no proof, just accusations, and why isn't Tim Walsh a felon? I'll leave it at that. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. Also, I'll be leaving links in the description to Loza Alexander's Gifts and Go campaign, to Sean Ryan's video, and I'll be leaving a link to this video here so you guys can go on this gentleman's channel and show him some love and support, because what he's doing is for the children and is very important. So remember, people, stay vigilant, keep praying for each other, keep praying for the women and the children, pray for this country, pray for your enemies, and don't forget to pray for Donald Trump, and get out there and vote. This one truly, truly counts, people. Peace.